Hello, this short video is part 1 of Hypothesis Tests 1 in the QED module. Now we're going to start with a concrete example set in Tanzania called a t-test. Then we'll look at some other concepts to do with sampling, measuring and testing, some concepts to do with a wide range of different tests, and then some technical backgrounds. Now in this example we're dealing with northern Tanzania in the Usambara Mountains. Now this is a very beautiful area known for its wonderful views, its cool climate, a good range of cheese and in particular tea. A great deal of tea is grown here both for consumption at home and for export. It's got a range of very high quality accessible land, so near people's houses and near roads like you see here. Here's the beautiful views, but unfortunately the presence of these incredible slopes and views means that some of the land is like this, very inaccessible, difficult to get to. Really you're taking your life in your hands if you grow tea here, but because it's a high value crop, people do grow it even here. Now, until 1997, the whole of the tea market in Tanzania was controlled by the Tanzanian Tea Authority, a state agency, so a government-controlled purchasing body. But then with liberalisation, the Washington Consensus, in the mid and late 90s, everything was privatised, so that included the tea market. So from 1997, private marketing was brought in, and smallholders sold to private buyers. So instead of selling everything to the Tanzania Tea Authority, they could sell to anybody they liked. Of course, the question for us, looking back on this many years later, is, has this helped the smallholders? Have they earned more? Now let's suppose we have some records where the Tanzanian Tea Authorities give us the exact mean earnings for all households back in 1997. Sorry, 1990, looking back a bit. And for all the households in those areas, because they have all the data, the TTA can tell us that the 1990 figure was 0.12 kilograms of maize flour was needed to buy a kilogram of tea. And you might like to think about why we don't use dollars or Tanzanian shillings or pounds or something. Why do we measure the value of tea in maize instead of money? And that's another question. So 0.12 kilograms of maize flour per kilogram of tea in 1990. Now we want to know, have smallholder earnings increased since then? So we beam forward to last year, 2017, and we've got a sample of households here, and these are the prices they received. So the first one got 0.145, which is actually slightly less, isn't it? Oh no, slightly more. Then this one's got more, this one's got much less. This one exactly the same. This one less, this one more, this one less, and so on. But if we take the mean of the sample now, it's 0.15 kilograms of maize flour per kilogram of tea. So in the mean, in the sample, it's slightly more. Right, now what does this data tell us? Well, we've got these mean tea prices. From 1990, from the TTA figures, we know that for all Usambara households, that price was 0.12 kilograms of flour for a kilogram of tea. In 2017, for our 36 sample households, the mean is now 0.15 kilograms of flour for a kilogram of tea. So how can we interpret this data? Does it suggest, for example, that the mean tea price for all the Usambara households has risen under private trade? So have a look at these figures, and I want you to think to yourselves as you watch this, what would you answer to this question? Does the data suggest that that mean tea price for all the Usambara households has risen since 1990? What would you go for? So think about that. Here are the figures. If you want to pause and have a bit long to think about it, you can. I'm not going to give you the answer now. We'll discuss this in a lecture. This ordinary language way of looking at things is fine, but sometimes you want to be a bit more precise and put numbers on it. So if we took the same range, same figures, does the data suggest that mean tea price has risen for all Usambara households? Where would you put it in this range? Again, the same figures, but how would you phrase it in terms of probability? Have a think about what you'd answer for that. If you want longer, have a pause of the video, but I'll carry on now and conclude, and then we'll discuss it in class. Right, so the next stage in the lecture we'll go on to sampling, measuring and testing. But for now, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.